CA Rohit Grover, faculty for law and audit, and your mentor for auditing and law subject. And today's topic, what again we are going to start with, is nothing but the company audit. As we know that day before yesterday and day before yesterday, we are already done with the two sections. What are the two sections? We are done with section number, if I am not wrong, we are already done with section number 139. Section number 139 subsection 2, section number 139 subsection 8. So these are the various sections we have already covered. In section number 139 we have already covered 139 subsection 5 also, subsection 7 in case of government company, and subsection 6 and subsection 1 in case of non-government company. So these are the various sections we have already covered. And along with that, if you remember, along with casual vacancy section number 139 subsection 8, I told you another section called section number 144, which talks about the prohibited services of a statutory auditor. So today also we'll continue again with all the remaining sections of the company audit. So today we are going to cover two sections, basically one section only, section number 140, which is highly important section, that is called removal of an auditor, right? So these are my credentials. Again, if you want, you can contact me on my Facebook, on my Telegram, and my YouTube channel is Grover Audit and Law CA classes. So I'll be uploading this video as and when it will be recorded. So that's it, guys. So let us start the today's topic again, company audit, section number 140, which is applicable to both CA Inter as well as CA Final. So here we go. So again, I'll give my brief introduction. I'm CA Rohit Grover, and I'm a faculty for law and auditing at both CA Intermediate and CA Final level. In the CA Intermediate level, I also teach strategic management. So I'll be coming up with the lots and lots of videos again in the future for the CA Final, especially the other topics of CA Final like audit committee and corporate governance, forensic audit, due diligence, investigation audit of bank, audit of PSU, audit of CFS, and company audit. Anyways, we are covering for both CA Inter as well as CA Final level. So I'll be coming up with the videos. I will try my level best to upload a video, at least one video a day, so that we will be in touch with each other. So let us move, guys, without wasting the time. Let us start with the today's topic. So today's topic, what we are going to start, is nothing but called section number 140, which is known as what? It is written in front of you, that is called removal of an auditor. What is the section? Section number 140, that is called removal of an auditor. First of all, let us break this section and let us understand what this section is going to give you. This section we are going to broadly convert into 5 subsections. This section is broadly converted into 5 subsections. Sir, what are those 5 subsections? These 5 subsections I will tell you, and what the things we are going to do it in 5 subsections. So first we'll understand section 140 subsection 1. What is section 140 subsection 1? That is removal of an auditor. Removal of an auditor. Removal of an auditor. Let me do one thing, guys. Just wait. Okay. Let us understand subsection 1. Removal of an auditor before the expiry of his term. Before the expiry of his term. Before the expiry of his term. First of all, let me tell you guys, the section name is called removal of an auditor. So when we talk about the section called removal of an auditor, we are not talking about those auditors who are getting replaced by the another auditors after the expiry of the term, right? Section number 140 is not all about कि one auditor is going smoothly after serving his term as per section number 139 subsection 2, rotation of an auditor. After serving your 5 years and 10 years, you are going to get removed and you are going to get replaced by somebody else. We are not talking about that. We are talking about section called 140. Under that section 140 subsection 1, where we are talking about removal of an auditor before the expiry of his term. Then we'll have section number 140, section number 140 subsection 2. ये हमने ऑलरेडी सेक्शन नंबर 139 सबसेक्शन 8 के साथ कवर कर लिया था. आई थिंक इन द कैजुअल वैकेंसी आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू व्हाट इज सेक्शन 140 सबसेक्शन 2, गाइस. सेक्शन 140 सबसेक्शन 2 talks about intimating the reasons of resignation, intimating the reasons of resignation by an auditor. If any auditor resigns from the company, he has to intimate the reasons of resignation to the C and AG in case of government company, to the company, and ROC in case of non-government company within 30 days of his resignation in form number ADT 3. If you remember, we have already covered that in section number 139 subsection 8. If you really want to learn what is this section, you can refer to that video which is given in my YouTube channel. So you can go to the section number 139 subsection 8 video. There you will automatically find section number 140 subsection 2, and along with section number 140 subsection 2, we have also covered section number 140 subsection 3 also. Means what? It is connected with 140 subsection 2, which is known as penalty in case of failure to give reasons of resignation. Penalty in case of failure to give the reasons of resignation. That is section 140 subsection 3. Then we have section number 140 subsection 4. What is the name of the section? Section 140 subsection 4. Subsection 4 talks about what? Sir, it talks about appointment of auditor. It talks about appointment of auditor other than the retiring auditor. Right or not? In this case, there are two things we are going to understand. Ki we are replacing one auditor. The retiring auditor is getting replaced by some new auditor. Right or not? That is the new thing. We don't want to reappoint the same retiring auditor. We are going to replace it with the new auditor. Or the only thing what you can understand also is we are going to remove the retiring auditor. It means in both the cases we are talking about when before the expiry of the term. In both the cases we are talking about what? Before the expiry of the term. So what are the two things we are going to understand? Okay, what is the procedure to be followed when we are appointing a new auditor other than which auditor? Retiring auditor. There can be two circumstances. What are the two circumstances? We are appointing the new auditor in place of what? Retiring auditor. Or second thing, we are not at all appointing anybody else, but we are removing our which auditor? Retiring auditor. So two situations are somebody else is coming in place of you, or second situation is you are going to get removed. We don't know whether somebody else is going to come or not. So that is what section number 140 subsection 4 will tell us the basic idea behind how to appoint an auditor other than which auditor? Retiring auditor. Am I correct? After that, we will understand section number 140. Section number 140 subsection 5. What is section 140 subsection 5? Removal of auditor by tribunal. Removal of auditor by what? Tribunal. So tribunal also can remove you as an auditor. So that is a completely separate section, section number 140 subsection 5. So this is what the breakup of section number 140 so far. So section 140 is divided into 5 subsections. Section 140 subsection 1, which is talking about removal of an auditor before the expiry of the term. So many people get confused between 140 subsection 1 and 140 subsection 4. So both are same thing only. No, both are little bit different. So I'll tell you, removal of an auditor before the expiry of the term, section 140 subsection 2 already covered in our casual vacancy topic, that is called intimating the reasons of resignation by an auditor. Section number 140 subsection 3, which is talking about what? It is talking about penalty in case of failure of the giving the reasons of resignation. And section number 140 subsection 4, where we are going to talk about an appointment of an auditor other than what? Retiring auditor. Here two things may come. Retiring auditor is getting replaced by somebody else, and second thing is retiring auditor is getting retired, or we are removing him without appointing somebody else. And what is section number 140 subsection 5? It talks about removal of an auditor by what? Tribunal. Are you getting the point? So let us start with first section. What is our first section? The first section is section number 140 subsection 1. So let us start with section number 140 section number 140 subsection 1. What this section number 140 subsection 1 is going to talk about. Now section number 140 subsection 1 talks about that if an auditor is getting removed, before the expiry of his term of office, term of office means what, which we have already covered under section number 139 subsection 2, rotation of an auditor. What is the term for individual auditor? For the individual auditor, it is one term of 5 years each, right or not? And for the partnership firm or LLP auditors, it is 2 terms of 5 years each. Is it correct or not? So we are nothing but we are removing the auditor before the expiry of their terms. Are you getting the point? It means neither the individual is able to complete his 5 years, or not the partnership firm or LLP is able to complete the 5 years. Before that only company wants to remove their auditors, right or not? Now what is the procedure under section 140 subsection 1? The procedure under section 140 subsection 1 is point number 1. Sir, what is the procedure? Procedure is very simple. Point number 1, procedure. How we can remove an auditor before the expiry of his term. First of all, understand guys, auditor is a very important person as per the Companies Act 2013. He has been given a very huge importance under the Companies Act. So it is not easy like, there's a fly in your tea, you can remove that fly, throw it out as and when you want. Are you getting it? So auditor is not like a fly in the tea which can be thrown easily out of companies. So there is a proper procedure you have to follow. So what is the procedure? The procedure says that point number 1, board meeting shall be conducted. What is the point number 1? Board meeting shall be conducted and board resolution shall be passed. Sir, which meeting to be conducted? Board meeting shall be conducted and board resolution shall be passed. Are you getting the point or not? Recommending what? Board cannot remove that. Recommending what? Recommending the removal of auditor. They are not removing it, they are just recommending the removal of auditor. Finally, we all know that finally the decision will be taken by whom? Decision will be taken by the shareholders. Are you getting the point? So board meeting will be conducted and board resolution will be passed, and the board is doing what? Board is only doing what? Recommending the removal of an auditor. Ki sir, we recommend that ki our present auditor should be removed before the expiry of this term. Reason can be anything. We are not liking his efficiency at all, or he is not up to the mark as per the company's terms. Now, what is the second procedure? After the board resolution in the board meeting has been passed, sir, within 30 days, within how many days? Within 30 days of board resolution. Within 30 days of which resolution? Board resolution. The company shall make application. कंपनी को एक एप्लीकेशन डालना है. किसको? कंपनी shall make an application to central government. कंपनी shall make an application to whom? Central government. कंपनी को किसको एप्लीकेशन डालना है? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट को. within company shall make an application to central government in form number ADT2. Guys, tell me what is the form number? ADT2. Now see, what is the procedure number 1? Board meeting will be conducted, board resolution will be passed, and board of directors recommends the removal of an auditor. But they cannot remove it. So before the removal and before the shareholder should take any action, within 30 days of passing the board resolution, the company must apply to the central government in form number ADT2. What is ADT2? Permission for removal of an auditor. परमिशन फॉर रिमूवल ऑफ एन ऑडिटर. तो कंपनी ADT2 में अप्लाई करेगी द परमिशन टू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. दे वांट टू टेक द परमिशन फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट बिफोर द रिमूवल ऑफ एन ऑडिटर, एंड द परमिशन विल बी अप्लाइड इन फॉर्म नंबर ADT2, right or not? So after obtaining this permission, obviously ADT2 means what? Fee will also be there. So some prescribed fee you have to pay. So after that, if the central government has given the approval, now what is the step number 3? after getting approval from central government, after getting approval from which government? Central government, then the company shall hold an EGM. Company shall hold a which meeting? EGM, and shall pass special resolution. Shall pass a which resolution? Special resolution to remove an existing auditor. To remove the which auditor? Existing auditor before the expiry of his term. Before the expiry of his term. समझ में आया सर? तो टोटल 3 steps है. What are the 3 steps? The step number 1, board meeting, board resolution, recommendation for removal. Then within 30 days of board resolution passed, the company has to apply to the central government in form number ADD2 with the prescribed fee, that is the permission for removal of an auditor. See, removing an auditor is not an easy task. Central government is also involved. So that we can ensure that ki removal must be a justified removal. Removal must be a justified removal. Just like that company thought one day they cannot remove their auditor, and after getting the approval from the central government, then the company shall hold an EGM and shall pass a which resolution? Special resolution to remove an existing auditor before the expiry of this term. Now question is, sir, when this EGM to be conducted? This EGM must be conducted within 60 days. Within 60 days of getting approval. Within 60 days of getting approval from central government. Are you getting the point? Are we getting the approval in point number 2 or not? So within 60 days of getting the approval from central government, we have to conduct an EGM and pass a special resolution. ठीक है? And point number 4 क्या होगा सर? Point number 4 will be very simple. Before taking any action for removal, before taking any action of removal, the auditor shall be given an opportunity of being heard. What do you mean by opportunity of being heard? That is called principle of natural justice. Means what? हम लोग उसको ऐसे ही नॉर्मली नहीं जाने देंगे. Now we will give him an opportunity to defend his removal, कि why he should not be removed before the expiry of this term. That is called opportunity of being heard. That is called principle of natural justice. That process will understand in section number 140 subsection 4. So the procedure of giving the opportunity of being heard is being given in section number 140 subsection 4, and the main procedure, how to remove an auditor, central government permission, all that is being covered under section number 140 subsection 1. तो एक क्विक रिवीजन करते हैं. व्हाट इज सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 1? खत्म हो गया गाइस. दैट इज व्हाट सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 1. इफ एन ऑडिटर is getting removed before the expiry of his term, what is the procedure? Sir, tell me, what is the procedure? Point number 1, we have to conduct a which meeting? We have to conduct a board meeting. In the board meeting, which resolution? Board resolution. Sir, pass कर दिया. What the board resolution? Board of directors are doing? Board of directors are only recommending the removal. Sir, okay, recommendation हो गया. Within 30 days of board resolution, we have to apply. The company has to apply to whom? Central government in form number ADT2. क्या अप्लाई करना है? Permission for removal of an auditor before the expiry of this term. Are you getting the point? Now, point number 3, after getting the approval from the central government, means what? You can't remove an auditor before central government approves. After getting the approval from central government, then the company shall hold an EGM and shall pass a which resolution? Special resolution to remove an existing auditor before the expiry of this term. Now, what is the time period for conducting an EGM? EGM must be conducted within 60 days of getting the approval from whom? Central government. And after that, we all know that before removing anything in India, our law says that before doing any kind of action, we always have to give the opportunity of being heard to the other party who is getting removed. So before taking any action of removal, the auditor shall be given opportunity of being heard. That is called principle of नेचुरल जस्टिस. तो इसको एक शॉर्ट में लिखेंगे, इन अ समरी में लिखेंगे. सर इसकी समरी बना दो. क्या है समरी? समरी सर ये है समरी. इसका समरी क्या है कि पहले क्या होगा, बोर्ड मीटिंग होगी. आफ्टर दैट उसमें क्या होगा, बोर्ड रेजोल्यूशन होगा. बोर्ड रेजोल्यूशन में हमने क्या किया, रिकमेंडेशन किया. आफ्टर 30 days, within 30 days of board resolution, within 30 days of board resolution, company has to क्या करेगी, कंपनी हैज़ टू अप्लाई. कंपनी हैज़ टू अप्लाई टू होम, सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट. फॉर्म नंबर ADT2. व्हाट दैट, परमिशन. कंपनी हैज़ टू अप्लाई टू द सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट फॉर अ परमिशन. सर परमिशन ग्रांटेड. व्हाट विल हैपन आफ्टर द परमिशन ग्रांटेड? विदिन 60 days, within 60 days of permission, what we are going to do, within 60 days of permission granted, we have to conduct a which meeting? EGM. In the EGM, which resolution? Special resolution. In the special resolution, then the auditor stands removed. Auditor stands what? Removed. Did you get the point? But we all know that we have to give what? We have to give an opportunity of being heard. We have to give an opportunity of being heard to the which auditor? To the outgoing auditor. This is called summary of section number 140 subsection 1. सर मैंने क्या बोला था, सेक्शन तो तुम्हारी रगों में खून की जगह सेक्शन दौड़ने चाहिए. ठीक है, तो मेक श्योर दैट you are doing this. Why I am telling you everything in detailed and why we are stretching out section and again and again, क्योंकि same topic are applicable for CA final. CA intermediate में little bit relaxation is there. Okay, even if you have not quoted it, they won't take that much on their heart, the examiners and all. But when it comes to CA final, mentioning the section number is must. ठीक है सर, तो ये होगा अपना पहला सबसेक्शन, सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 1, which talks about removal of an auditor before the expiry of his term. Now section number 140 subsection 2 already we are done, that is in 139, and 140 subsection 3 again we have already done in 139. You can refer the previous video to understand what is 142 and what is 140 subsection 3. अभी अपन डायरेक्टली जंप करेंगे किसके ऊपर, सेक्शन नंबर 140 subsection 4. Now let us understand, sir, what do you mean by section number 140 subsection 4? Section number 140 subsection 4. So section number 140 subsection 4, basically what is the name of this section? The name of this section is appointment of an auditor. Appointment of an auditor other than, what is the word, main thing is other than the retiring auditor. जो ऑडिटर जा रहा है, जिस ऑडिटर को हम लोग रिमूव कर रहे हैं, उसकी जगह पे कोई और ऑडिटर आएगा या उसकी जगह पे उसको ही निकालना है. तो देयर कैन बी टू पॉसिबिलिटीज. आई ऑलरेडी टोल्ड यू व्हाट आर द टू पॉसिबिलिटीज हियर. द टू पॉसिबिलिटी इज पॉसिबिलिटी नंबर 1. So what is a possibility number 1? We are going to pass a resolution. We are going to pass a resolution to appoint. We are going to pass a resolution to appoint a person. We are going to pass a resolution to appoint a person other than the retiring auditor. Other than the which auditor? Retiring auditor. It means this person who is getting retired is going to be replaced by this person who is getting what? Appointed. Are you getting? This is the retiring auditor and this is the new auditor. That can be the first possibility under section 140 subsection 4. So what is the second possibility? Second possibility क्या है? Second possibility ये है, or to provide that retiring auditor, to provide that retiring auditor shall not be what? Reappointed. मतलब हमें retiring auditor को reappoint ही नहीं करना है. We don't want to reappoint the retiring auditor. So here we are only talking about this retiring auditor. ठीक है? So retiring auditor. So two possibility, either we are replacing the retiring auditor with someone else, or we are going to, we don't want to reappoint the retiring auditor, right or not? Now in this case, if you are appointing a person other than the retiring auditor, in this case there's a procedure. Sir, what is a procedure? Procedure is very simple, but you all have to understand in this way. Now see, what is the procedure? What is the procedure in this case? The procedure is very simple. Step number 1, special notice is to be sent by members to the company. Now in this case, what is happening? Members do not want to continue with their existing auditor. They want to replace the existing auditor with somebody else. Are you getting the point? Now members do not want to continue with their existing auditor. The members have to send which notice, guys? Special notice. So special notice must be sent by whom? Members. To whom? To company. Are you getting the point? The company requires the special notice from the members, right or not? What this special notice is doing? Special notice is proposing two things. Special notice is proposing two things. Proposing, you already know, proposing to replace retiring auditor with another. Proposing to replace retiring auditor with another, or proposing not to reappoint द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर. मीन्स जाने वाले ऑडिटर को दोबारा से रिअपॉइंट नहीं करना है. नॉट टू रिअपॉइंट द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर. ठीक है. तो फर्स्ट पॉइंट इज वी नीड अ स्पेशल नोटिस फ्रॉम द मेंबर्स, एंड दैट स्पेशल नोटिस फ्रॉम द मेंबर्स इज रिक्वायर्ड टू बी गिवन टू द कंपनी. देन ओनली कंपनी विल do the necessary action under section 140 subsection 4. Are you getting the point? Now most important note, what is the note you have to understand in point 2? ये जो special notice वाला केस है, special notice is not applicable. Special notice is not applicable. Sir, in case of what? Special notice is not applicable if the retiring auditor has completed, his tenure of 5 years or 10 years respectively. मतलब अगर वो अपनी टेन्योर खत्म करके जा रहा है, then तो definitely sir someone new has to come. Section number 139 subsection 2 rotation. So if you have completed your 5 years or if you have completed your 10 years, somebody new has to come. Are you getting the point? So special notice is required in which case? When we are replacing after the expiry of the term or before the expiry of the term. Before the expiry of the term. Actually, this section 140 subsection 4 is going to tell you the detailed procedure what is required in case. Do you know that this fourth point in the section number 140 subsection 1, in the fourth point we have done, before taking any action for removal, the auditor shall be given an opportunity of being heard. That opportunity of being heard we are going to understand in section number 140 subsection 4. तो यहाँ पे ये भी लिख सकते हो procedure of opportunity of being heard. What is that procedure? That procedure is given in section number 140 subsection 4. तो procedure का point number already 1 I told you. What is the point number 1? Special notice is required to be sent by the members to the company. उसमें लिखा होना चाहिए कि either they are proposing to appoint someone else with the retiring auditor or they don't want to reappoint the existing auditor. But again, note is very important कि this special notice is not applicable in case the auditor which is retiring has already completed his tenure of 5 years or 10 years, right or not? Ab step number 2, on receipt of special notice, on receipt of which notice? Special notice. Now who sent this special notice? Members send this special notice to the company. On receipt of special notice, what the company is going to do? Company shall send copy of special notice. Company shall send copy of special notice to the RO. What is the RO? Retiring auditor. To the which auditor? To the retiring auditor. Are you getting the point or not? So they have to send this notice to the RO, to the retiring auditor. And along with that, step number 3, along with that, on receipt of copy of special notice. Now special notice copy has now in whose custody? In the hands of, on receipt of copy of special notice by retiring auditor. By the retiring auditor, company will give opportunity of being heard. Company will give opportunity of being heard to the which auditor? To the retiring auditor. What is that opportunity of being heard? So opportunity of being heard, you can also say it is a right of retiring auditor. It is a right of retiring auditor, as the company has to give. Company have to give the opportunity of being heard to the retiring auditor, as well as it is a right of the retiring auditor. What is that opportunity of being heard? Opportunity of being heard means what? Retiring auditor, the retiring auditor will be given a chance to defend his removal. He will be given a chance to defend his removal. Sir, कैसे देंगे chance? We will give him a chance to defend his removal by making a letter of representation, right or not, of a reasonable length, whereby he shall defend why he shall not be removed. So it means whatever the letter he should write, it should be having a which length? First of all, a reasonable length, right or not? Reasonable length means normal length का letter होना चाहिए. And उसमें he should write what? Defending his removal. Are you getting it now? No extraordinary things to be written, only the defending of his removal. So this letter, this retiring auditor is going to make by making a letter of representation of reasonable length, whereby he shall defend why he shall not be removed. Now what after this letter? This letter he should send. Retiring auditor shall send this letter to the company. Why? So that company can notify such letter to its members. This is called opportunity of being heard. But there is one problem. What is the problem? Problem number 1. There can be two circumstances in this case. The representation letter by retiring auditor is reaching early. Reaching early means what? Before sending notices of EGM. Do you remember we have to conduct an EGM to pass a special resolution where the auditor will be removed? Yes. If the notices of EGM has not been sent and this representation letter made by the which auditor? Retiring auditor has been reaching in the hands of the company before sending the notices of EGM, what to do? Or if it reaches late, then what to do? If it is reaching early, early, then in that case what we'll do? Company must circulate this letter. Along with notices. Are you getting the point? If it is reaching late, then he will be given an oral hearing. He will be given an opportunity of an opportunity of oral hearing in the meeting. Meeting means what? He will be invited to the meeting. That is what his right to attend the meeting. And when he is going to come in the meeting, company is going to give them him company is going to give him some little bit of time to to justify his removal, because if his letter is reaching early, company is already sending his letter along with the notices, right or not? The members will already read his letter, make up their mind before coming to the meeting. But if his letter reaches late, means what? Notices of EGM are already sent. Notices of EGM are already sent. Then in that case, what will do? Company will allow him to come to the meeting, and in the meeting he'll be given an opportunity of which hearing? Oral hearing for 5-10 minutes. So he has to defend his letter. So what is that oral hearing? He will read out in front of shareholder. He will read out everything in front of whom? Shareholder. This is what do you mean by step number 2, which is known as opportunity of being heard. So again repeating, opportunity of being heard क्या है? Basically step number 3 में क्या हो रहा है? तो on receipt of copy of special notice by the RO, the company has to give opportunity of being heard to the retiring auditor. What is opportunity of being heard? Retiring auditor will be given a chance to defend his removal. कैसे remove करेगा? He will make one letter, that is called representation letter, of a which length? Of a reasonable length, where he shall defend why he shall not be removed. Retiring auditor shall send this letter to the company and note, so that company should notify such letter to its member. Now there are two cases which may come. Case number 1, this letter is reaching early before sending the notices of the meeting. Then in that case, we already know the action. Company must circulate this letter along with the notices. Case number 2, if this letter reaches late, it means the notices of EGM are already sent, then company will give him an oral hearing in the meeting. He will be allowed to read out the letter in front of the shareholders. This is what do you mean by the opportunity of being heard. समझ में आया गाइस? So this is what do you mean by opportunity of being heard. So sir, यहाँ तक तो समझ में आ गया. After that word, now there is one provision. What is a provision? Point number 4. What is a provision? Now listen to this case. If the company is of opinion that, or any person is of opinion that, any person is of opinion that retiring auditor via representation letter, retiring auditor with the help of representation letter is trying to बड़ा बड़ा लिखेंगे, abuse, is trying to abuse his opportunity, of being heard. Sir, what do you mean by the word called abuse? Abuse means he is trying to take needless publicity. He is trying to take the needless publicity via this letter, or he is defamating the company. Either he is trying to take the needless publicity, or he is defamating the company. Defamating means what? Bringing disrespect to the company, or just unnecessary things he has written in his letter, whereas we have given him an opportunity to defend his removal, right or not? But he is doing some unnecessary things via this letter. That is why it is known as what? Abusing his opportunity of being heard. If the company or any person is of opinion that retiring auditor via representation letter is trying to abuse his opportunity of being heard, that is by taking needless publicity, or by defamating the company, then in that case what will happen? Then they can make an application. To whom? To the NCLT. They can make an application to the NCLT, and if NCLT is also satisfied, that contention or allegation by the company is satisfactory, is what? satisfactory or also contention made by company is genuine. You can write genuine. Then what the NCLT will do? NCLT may direct the company. What the NCLT may give the order to the company? Neither to circulate nor to allow him any oral hearing in the meeting. Now, are you able to understand? If the NCLT is satisfied that the allegation made by the company is genuine, so we are neither going to circulate his representation letter with the notices of EGM to the company, nor he will come to the meeting, but he will be losing his which right? He will be losing his right of oral hearing. So means what? This opportunity of being heard in the green part, what we have written, the either circulate or give him the oral hearing, that will be taken away by whom? NCLT. NCLT will take away this opportunity of being heard completely from that retiring auditor if NCLT is satisfied that contention or allegation made by the company is satisfactory and genuine. It means yes, this person, the retiring person, is trying to do what? He is trying to abuse his what? Opportunity of being heard. Then in that case, what will happen? Step number 5 क्या आएगा? जल्दी बताओ. What is the step number 5? Step number 5 is very simple. EGM will be conducted. Directly special resolution will be passed. And auditor stands what? Auditor stands removed. And make sure that same process is equally applicable. Same process is equally applicable for first auditor also. So if we are removing the first auditor also, same procedure is applicable, but the only thing is, instead of special resolution, it will turn into ordinary resolution, because the first auditor is appointed by board of directors. Are you getting the point? First auditor is appointed by the board of directors, so instead of special resolution, it is going to be ordinary resolution. Otherwise, same process is equally applicable in case of what? In case of first auditor removal also. So let us understand from the beginning कि सर सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 4 में आखिर हुआ क्या. सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 4 में हुआ ये. चलो स्टार्ट करते हैं. क्या हुआ? सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 4 टॉक्स अबाउट अपॉइंटमेंट ऑफ एन ऑडिटर अदर देन द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर. इसमें दो प्रपोजल हैं. आइदर वी आर गोइंग टू रिप्लेस द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर विद समबडी एल्स, और वी आर गोइंग टू नॉट रीअपॉइंट द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर. ओके सर, व्हाट इज द प्रोसीजर इन दिस केस? इफ यू आर रिमूविंग द रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर बिफोर द एक्सपायरी ऑफ दिस टर्म, वी नीड अ स्पेशल नोटिस फ्रॉम द members. Members will send this special notice to whom? To the company. Now they may give the two things: either they want to remove the current auditor with somebody else, or they don't want to continue with the current auditor. So special notice is not applicable in case if the somebody is retiring after the expiry of his term, because this whole section is applicable for removing an auditor before the expiry of his term. Okay, company received the special notice. Now what the company will do? Company shall send the copy of this special notice to the which auditor? Retiring auditor. And we all know that everyone who is getting removed under the Companies Act will be given an opportunity of being heard. Sir, what do you mean by opportunity of being heard? The retiring auditor will be given a chance to defend his removal. Kaise sir? We will allow him to make a letter of a which length? Of a reasonable length, whereby he shall defend, he shall not be removed. Retiring auditor shall send this letter. उसने जब letter बना लिया, तो this letter he will send it to the company, and company will notify this letter to the members. How? Either if the letter reaches early before sending the notices of the EGM, this letter will be circulated along with the notices. But if the company receives this letter or representation late from the retiring auditor, he will be given an oral hearing opportunity. Sir, which hearing opportunity? Oral hearing opportunity. ठीक है sir? So he will be given the oral hearing opportunity. ओरल हियरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी में क्या मतलब कि ही विल बी अलाउड टू कम टू द मीटिंग, एंड अलाउइंग मीन्स व्हाट, इट इज हिज राइट टू कम टू द मीटिंग, बट येस टू स्पीक अप इन द मीटिंग, टू रीड आउट हिज डिफेंडिंग लेटर इन फ्रंट ऑफ द शेयर होल्डर, दैट इज हिज ओरल अपॉर्चुनिटी. उसके बाद क्या हुआ, उसके बाद इफ द कंपनी इज ऑफ द ओपिनियन दैट कि this person or any person is of the opinion that this person, who is this person, this retiring person, which person guys, this retiring person is trying to abuse his power, trying to abuse his right of what, opportunity of being heard by taking needless publicity or defamatory, and they can make, the company or that person can make an complaint or application to the NCLT. If the NCLT is also satisfied that this retiring person by taking this opportunity of being heard is trying to abuse his power, then NCLT will order neither circulate nor give him an oral hearing, and in the EGM special resolution will be passed and auditor stands removed. And I already told you same process is equally applicable for the first auditor as well as for the subsequent auditor. But in the first auditor, instead of special resolution, it will be what, ordinary resolution. So company will conduct a general meeting, and in that general meeting, instead of special resolution, company will pass a which resolution, ordinary resolution. ये हो गया अपना section number 140 subsection 4, which talks about procedure of opportunity of being heard, and we have already done section number 140 subsection 1, where we are appointing we are removing an auditor before the expiry of the term, central government wala process. So basically point number 3 and 4 of section number 140 subsection 1 is being detailed covered in section number 140 subsection 4. So again saying point number 3 and 4, that is वो EGM वाला case, and the opportunity of being heard is actually detailed covered in what, section number 140 subsection 4. तो यहाँ पे भी मैं तुम्हें बता देता हूँ कि इसकी समरी क्या है. चलो सर एक छोटी सी समरी लिखेंगे. सर इसकी समरी क्या है, चलो समरी लिखते हैं. इसकी समरी है, स्पेशल नोटिस बाय द मेंबर्स will be sent to the company. Company will send the copy of this special notice to the retiring auditor. Retiring auditor will be given an opportunity of being heard. Opportunity of being heard means what? He will be allowed to defend his removal. So he will be allowed to defend his removal. How he will defend his removal? He will make one letter. This is called representation letter. Of which length? Reasonable है, where he should defend his removal. Chalo sir, he should demand his removal. This letter he should send to whom? Company. Okay, company will have the two options. If this letter is reaching early, company will do what? Company will allow him to send it, along with notices of EGM. ठीक है sir. So if the company receives this late, then company will give him a which opportunity? ओरल हियरिंग अपॉर्चुनिटी. उसके बाद क्या होगा सर? उसके बाद इफ द कंपनी और एनी कंसर्न्ड पर्सन हैव अ कंप्लेंट कि दिस पर्सन, हु इज दिस पर्सन, कंप्लेंट दैट रिटायरिंग ऑडिटर इज ट्राइंग टू व्हाट, ट्राइंग टू abuse his opportunity of being heard, they will make this complaint to whom? NCLT. If the NCLT is also what, satisfied, the NCLT may pass the order. What are the order? Neither circulate nor oral hearing. ठीक है. And after that what will happen? In the EGM the special resolution will be passed, and this, who is this? Retiring auditor will stand what? Removed. This is called the summary of section number 140. तो अपना समरी कैसे आ रहा है? अपना समरी ऐसे आ रहा है, यहाँ से शुरू हुआ, यहाँ गया, उसके बाद यहाँ गया, उसके बाद यहाँ आया, ऐसा गया. तो दिस इज व्हाट इज समरी. यू जस्ट हैव टू फॉलो द एरोज. आर यू गेटिंग द पॉइंट? यू जस्ट हैव टू फॉलो द एरोज. तो ये हो गया अपना पॉइंट नंबर 1, पॉइंट नंबर 2, पॉइंट नंबर 3, पॉइंट नंबर 4, पॉइंट नंबर 5, पॉइंट नंबर 6, 7, then 8, 9, 10. EGM special resolution, RO is removed, right or not? So this is what the arrows you have to follow, these circles you have to follow. समझ में आया सर? So this is called the summary of section number 140 subsection 4. ठीक है सर. So that brings an end to अपने 2 सेक्शन rather 4 sections: section 140 subsection 1, section 140 subsection 4, which we have covered in this video, and section number 140 subsection 2, and section number 140 subsection 3, which we have already covered in section number 139 subsection 8 casual vacancy video. ठीक है सर? So let us proceed with the last topic. What is the last topic for today? So last topic for today is this, right? Section 140 subsection 5. So बहुत छोटा सा सेक्शन है. क्या है सेक्शन नंबर 140 सबसेक्शन 5? ये है रिमूवल बाय ट्रिब्यूनल. ये है रिमूवल बाय ट्रिब्यूनल. ठीक है सर? तो दिस इज कॉल्ड रिमूवल बाय ट्रिब्यूनल. नाउ सर, व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय रिमूवल बाय ट्रिब्यूनल? Now removal by tribunal is as a section, it's a very hard section. Sir, इसमें hard क्या है? Directly no company involvement. Directly who is removing you? Tribunal is removing you. Are you getting the point? Tribunal मतलब NCLT. कौन है NCLT? National Company Law Tribunal. अब इसमें हुआ क्या? बहुत छोटा सा सेक्शन है. इसमें हुआ क्या? इसमें हुआ सर ये प्रॉब्लम हो गई. So what is the problem? Problem number 1. If NCLT ऑन इट्स ओन, अगर NCLT को खुद से पता चला, सुओ मोटो, इफ NCLT ऑन इट्स ओन और रिसीव्ड अ कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम, या तो NCLT को खुद से पता चला और रिसीव्ड अ कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम किससे? सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट से, या सेबी से, या ROC से, या व्हाट डू से इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट से, या फिर कोई भी स्टैट्यूटरी अथॉरिटी से. नाउ अगेन रिपीटिंग, इफ द NCLT ऑन इट्स ओन फील्स दैट और रिसीव्ड अ कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट, सेबी, ROC, इनकम टैक्स डिपार्टमेंट, स्टैट्यूटरी अथॉरिटी और एनी कंसर्न्ड पर्सन, किसी ने कंप्लेंट किया, एनी कंसर्न्ड पर्सन. What is the nature of complaint? हुआ क्या? If the NCLT on its own or received what? Sir, received a complaint. So what is the complaint? Point number 2. What is the complaint? Complaint क्या है? Complaint है that auditor. What is the complaint? That auditor. NCLT feels that or received a complaint from these people that auditor is directly or indirectly. Auditor is directly or indirectly involved in fraud or fraudulent activity. Fraud or fraudulent activity. सबसे पावरफुल वर्ड है ये सेक्शन का, फ्रॉड और फ्रॉडुलेंट एक्टिविटी. अगर ये का फ्रॉड दिखा, इफ यू विल सी द वर्ड कॉल्ड फ्रॉड इन द एग्जामिनेशन, तो डायरेक्टली तुम्हें समझ आ जाना चाहिए यहाँ पे कंपनी लूजेस इट्स राइट्स, members loses its rights to remove the auditor before the expiry of the term. Only one person has a right. Who is that person? That person is known as NCLT. समझ में आया सर? तो यहाँ पे भी fraud involved हुआ, यहाँ fraudulent activity involved हुई. Who has done that? Auditor. So see, what is the complaint? Nature of the complaint is कि auditor is directly or indirectly involved in fraud or fraudulent activity either happening on the company और बाय द कंपनी. या तो इसने हेल्प किया फ्रॉड करने में ऑन द कंपनी, इट हेल्प्ड इन डूइंग अ फ्रॉड ऑन द कंपनी, और इट हेल्प द कंपनी इन डूइंग अ फ्रॉड. इट मीन्स इट हेल्प द कंपनी इन डूइंग द फ्रॉड. देखो दोनों अलग अलग बातें हैं. आइदर द फ्रॉड इज हैपनिंग ऑन द कंपनी, कंपनी के ऊपर फ्रॉड हुआ, मतलब जो लोग कंपनी के साथ फ्रॉड कर रहे थे, ऑडिटर वॉज मिंगलिंग विद देम, ऑडिटर वॉज हेल्पिंग देम, वॉज इन्वॉल्व विद देम. और सेकेंड केस इज इट वॉज helping the company to do a fraud. So either the fraud happened on the company or by the company. So complaint is कि this CG central government feels that or NCLT on its own also feels that कि auditor is directly or indirectly involved in fraud or fraudulent activity on the company or by the company. Then point number 3 क्या होगा? In such case if NCLT is satisfied either on its own or on the complaint complaint or on the complaint by whom? By central government or any concerned person, like all those parties, or on the complaint by central government or concerned person, then what will happen? Then within 15 days, within 15 days of receiving of complaint, within 15 days of receiving of complaint, what the NCLT will do? NCLT will pass an order. NCLT एक order pass करेगा. NCLT will pass an order. तो again repeating, हुआ क्या सेक्शन में? If the NCLT on its own, NCLT को smell आ गया कि भैया क्या smell आया कि auditor is involved in fraud or fraudulent activity, or NCLT was not aware, somebody made the complaint. Who made the complaint? Central government, say BROC, Income Tax Department, Statutory Authority, or any concerned person made a complaint. So what is the complaint? The auditor is directly or indirectly involved in fraud or fraudulent activities on the company or by the company. And if the NCLT is satisfied on its own or on the complaint made by the central government or any other concerned person, then within how many days? Within 15 days of receiving the complaint, NCLT will pass an order. Sir, what is that order? Order हम लोग लिखेंगे रेड कलर में. ऑर्डर क्या है? ऑर्डर है दो ऑर्डर. ऑर्डर नंबर 1, द डिफॉल्टिंग ऑडिटर will be disqualified from being an auditor. ये किसी भी कंपनी का ऑडिटर नहीं बन पाएगा. Disqualified from being an auditor in any company. What is the word written? In any company. किसी भी कंपनी का ऑडिटर नहीं बन पाएगा for the next 5 years. For the next how many years? 5 years. अगले 5 साल तक this auditor will be debarred from being an auditor in any company. What is the word you have to remember? In any company he will not be allowed to become an auditor. So the defaulting auditor will be disqualified from being an auditor in any company for the next 5 years plus penalized under section 447. He will be penalized under section 447. ये बहुत ही खतरनाक सेक्शन है. ये अपने CA फाइनल में भी है सेक्शन. तो सेक्शन 447 इज़ वेरी कॉम्प्लिकेटेड सेक्शन. बहुत ही गंदी इसमें पनिशमेंट है. पनिशमेंट क्या है? इफ़ द फ्रॉड अमाउंट इन्वॉल्व्ड is less than what? How much is less than 1% of the turnover of the company? If the fraud amount is less than 1% of the turnover of the company, to be compared with 10 lakhs, whichever is lower figure, then in that case that defaulting person will be liable to a fine up to rupees 50 lakhs or an imprisonment up to 5 years, or both, if the fraud amount is less than 1% of the turnover or 1% of the turnover or 10 lakhs, whichever is lower, then they will be penalized for what? Fine up to rupees 50 lakhs or a imprisonment up to 5 years, or both. But if the fraud amount involved is more than equivalent to 1% of the turnover, more than equivalent to what? 1% of the turnover or 10 lakhs, whichever is lower, then in that case he will be liable to a penalty or a fine of minimum fraud amount, maximum 3 times the fraud amount, or and he'll be sent to the imprisonment for minimum 6 months, maximum 10 years. So that's section 447. You can refer in your final law. Anyways, in the law video somewhere I'll be telling you section number 447. So in detail, in auditing we do not have to refer or do not have to give this section in detail. So this is the order which the NCLT will pass. Like either the defaulting auditor will be disqualified from being an auditor in any company for the next 5 years, and he will be penalized under section 447. सर 447 के एक ही रूल है, जहाँ पे भी वर्ड फ्रॉड आया वहाँ पे 447 is standing in front of you, welcoming you in this case. Are you getting the point? This is what the provision relating to section number 140 subsection 5. Okay guys, so that's it for today guys. Thank you so much. I hope you all have understood this provision carefully. आप सबको मज़ा आया the provision पढ़ के. So I hope everyone has understood this provision. सो एक बार फिर से रिवीजन कर लेते हैं क्या हुआ ये प्रोविजन सेक्शन नंबर 145 की. एनसीएलटी ऑन इट्स ओन और रिसीव्ड अ कंप्लेंट फ्रॉम एनी कंसर्न पार्टी कंप्लेंट दैट ही इज डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली इन्वॉल्वड इन फ्रॉड और फ्रॉडलेंट एक्टिविटी. आइदर द फ्रॉड इज हैपनिंग ऑन द कंपनी और बाय द कंपनी. इफ द एनसीएलटी इज सेटिस्फाइड ऑन इट्स ओन और ऑन द कंप्लेंट मेड बाय अदर पर्सन, देन एनसीएलटी विल पास एन ऑर्डर विद इन 15 days ऑफ रिसीविंग द कंप्लेंट. व्हाट इज द ऑर्डर? कि दैट डिफॉल्टिंग ऑडिटर will be disqualified from being an auditor in any company for the next 5 years and he'll be penalized under section 447. यहाँ पे ऑडिटर का मतलब क्या है? यहाँ पे ऑडिटर का मतलब यहाँ तो सोल प्रोप्राइटर और पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म और एलएलपी. ठीक है, ऑडिटर का मतलब सोल प्रोप्राइटर भी है, ऑडिटर का मतलब पार्टनरशिप फॉर्म और एलएलपी भी है. ठीक है, तो दिस सेक्शन इज इक्वली एप्लीकेबल टू द सोल प्रोप्राइटर ऑडिटर एज वेल एज व्हाट दिस थिंग. सो आज का अपना कौन कौन सा सेक्शन हो गया? टुडे वी हैव कवर्ड अ ह्यूज टॉपिक. दैट इज today's sections. What we have covered are section number 140 subsection 1, section number 140 subsection 4, section number 140 subsection 5, 140 subsection 2 and subsection 3 we have already covered in 139 subsection 8 in our which video? In our previous video. ठीक है, previous video on company audit. If you'll see that, you will find the section number 140 subsection 2 and section number 140 subsection 3. So that's again my details guys. So if you really like the video, hit the like button, hit the share button, and do comment the topics which you want me to conduct the video upon. So I would be very obliged to take up your request and will try my level best to meet up your expectations in delivering that while making a video. So thank you so much again. Good night to all of you. And if you really like my video, please share this video and subscribe my YouTube channel, that is Grover Audit and Law CA Classes. So thank you so much again. Thank you so much for listening to the today's session. See you guys. Thank you.